Have you ever baked brownies, left it in the oven to cook, have the timer go off, and then someone in the other room shouts, "The timer's gone off"? And without questioning, you immediately get up and take the brownies out of the oven. Well, this is an example of how language can be symbolic. But what really is language, and what makes it symbolic? Language is a form of communication allowing individuals to understand one another. It's symbolic because of the shared meaning that emerges from the language itself that allows for this common understanding to be present. And therefore, because language is symbolic, it shapes communities as cultural and societal values and beliefs are established. So, going back to the example, you automatically take the brownies out of the oven, not necessarily because the time has gone off, but because the symbolic meaning of the words themselves, "the time has gone off," indirectly implies that you need to take action by taking the brownies out of the oven, which would be the effect of the symbolic meaning of the words themselves. And so we can see how language has a power to establish something. Another example of this is the supposed 7 million girls without sanitary products. The revelation of this, however, was that this was just a made-up number in order to raise awareness about the issue otherwise overlooked on the insufficient supply of sanitary pads for women. It was only after such a drastic number was presented that action was taken. The use of language in terms of the supposed statistic of the 7 million girls further shows how language can be powerful in terms of the effects it has. In different spaces, language is used differently. Why? Well, in different spaces, your relationships with people are different, thus your language changes. And how this happens is through your behavior and your demeanor. For example, the way you behave and act around your friends may be less restrictive, more comfortable, more relaxed, compared to if you were with your family or a group of strangers or peers. Not only this, but your language changes as well. The way you speak to them changes. Thus, one can see how people adapt their use of language according to the space that they're in and the people that they're around. With the help of Sherry Ortner's heuristic device for understanding key symbols, one can see how non-verbal language can be a form of language that symbolizes different things. For example, the summarizing symbol of me fidgeting with things or twirling my hair is that I'm nervous. The elaborating symbol of this would go on to explain exactly why this behavior is being done. Maybe the action symbolizes that I'm nervous to speak to someone new, or that in a certain situation I feel uncomfortable. And so overall, one can see how language has the power to produce desired symbolic effects, how language can be symbolic within different spaces and around different people, and carry non-verbal symbolism through one's actions and gestures. Language will continue to be a symbolic system that shapes cultures and societies over and over again as a shared understanding is produced and followed.